I hope it picks up the sound as well.
Well,
should we introduce who each one is sitting to the face?
Yeah, yeah.
The name?
yes?
Yeah.
Okay, you start.
Okay, I'm Rory.
Weston.
Weston. Okay, yeah.
I'm Thomas McGarry.
And I'm Janet Kukirwan.
Okay, and it is Wednesday, the 20th of October at 1:15. Okay. So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about what like we think or what we did.
Yeah.
How did you start doing the project?
Well,
what did you do?
I haven't really started on the project. I was just trying to get the Americans involved, and then
Oh,
we
yes.
did the
Yeah, you've done really well with
contract.
that.
Yes, great.
You all saw
thank
the
you.
email, yeah, that's no problem. We were happy with the contract as it is then, because there's a reply from Tom Kay on the wiki,
Yeah.
and he said like
He
he wouldn't
thinks
change
it's
anything, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He sent his suggestions.
Mm.
So put them in. I've written down mine, which need to be typed up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the American girl, Kristen, is it?
Yeah, girl.
Do you know if hers are on the wiki? Could we have a
Yes.
quick look?
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. I think when I last checked, it was all pretty much the same as it was before, but
So we should print it, sign, and then scan to them, or how is it?
I think we should ask them to sign it and scan it,
yeah.
and
So
then
send it
will
to
we
us.
print their
Have it
version, and so their names will be
So how about
printed
if,
off.
when do we hand it in by? Tomorrow
tomorrow.
at midnight?
I think the professor sent an email
Oh, really?
explaining that. Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't open it, but yes. So they have to send it today to us. Yes.
So let's say if we send them a finalised version, because who are you the only one that needs to add something from our side?
Yeah, I think so. Have you put? I've got your stuff written down, I think.
And then we'll send it to them. They can double check, sign, scan it in,
Yeah.
send it to us. Then we'll sign it. And I think actually we have to hand it in on Moodle. I think we have to.
Oh, really?
I think.
So it's all
I'll double
digital.
check. And then
So
we can
just
either
scan in on it.
we can either then scan in or we can hand it directly.
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Whatever,
Right.
but whatever we need to hand it in, I think that's in the terms of the
Okay. Yeah.
instructions.
Are
Yeah,
you,
sounds
Yeah.
good.
are you happy with those for your individual goals and expectations? That's what
Yeah.
we were talking about earlier.
Just about contact, I think that's just about as
Yeah.
much as I can think of.
Ah, okay, good. Then, well, I've written less than that.
So, well, I
Yeah.
mean, you can steal things. At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
we can
it's
share
all
goals.
gonna be the
There's
same.
no problem
Yes.
with sharing goals.
Because I was agree with your goals. Yes.
Exactly. So,
Exactly.
And
so
did you all have a look at it and you're happy with the formatting and everything?
Yes,
Yeah?
it's perfect.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
couldn't ask for anything.
Great.
Okay, cool.
So, has everyone had a chance now to properly have a read through? Maybe not necessarily research as much, but except for of course you gone absolutely mad. But
Yeah, I had a read through.
how do you guys? Yeah, how are you feeling about it?
It seems manageable, like, obviously it's early days yet, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you?
Yes, perfect. Yes, there are, I think, maybe some relevant issues. Like they told us that they're like very help us, no, to
Mhm.
I don't know, some characteristic of the interesting characteristics of the company that we can take to think about a solution or to change that and
Yeah.
correct it.
How would you guys like to do this? Because she's kind of broken it down as far as I can see. I mean, you got the question is how can he retain his skilled workers without going broke until a period of greater economic certainty resumes. So that's kind of the overarching question. And then in your answer, yeah, sure. Do you want me to bring it up on here as well? Can you see?
No, I have it
Okay.
here, so it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then
Wait, is it on Moodle?
it should be somewhere on Moodle.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
it's-
check hasn't gone through yet.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I'm but I don't. Are these exclusive? Do you think these are the only points that we should be including, or
Well,
I haven't really
the thing
thought
is
about it? But
As they asked us to be very specific, like one and put the title of I don't know the first question and describe it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You understand? Maybe we have to follow those ones and not be.
yeah,
As he say, where is it? Like to be very specific, like put okay, describe the relevant issue and put the relevant issues, and then the same with the other ones, like to differentiate the OB theories from the human resources theory, so in different points.
Yeah.
Points, I'm sorry.
I think structure is kind of paramount here.
Yes.
The more structure we have, the better.
Better.
Like,
yes, more clear.
This, I was looking at, just before we came back here, I was looking at a thing from PricewaterhouseCoopers,
Yeah.
and they were sending out, because I went for a work experience there for a week, and I was looking at it, and they were giving, because they're a professional services company, they basically give advice.
Yeah.
I was at corporate finance, and they were giving advice on restructuring, and everything was so structured. They'd be like, massive heading, they give a little bit of a block, and then loads of subheadings, and that's one thing I really picked up. It was so much structure.
That's
Really?
good to know.
Yeah. And theirs was a much bigger document. It was a 200-page document. But they had they had an appendix. They had it was completely structured the whole way out. So I think
Yeah, we can do it that way, no?
that's effectively what we're doing. We're a consultancy. We're consultants, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're doing a similar job. So I think structure is really important. So I mean, maybe we should almost make these into headings.
When structure, are you talking about organisational structure or report structure?
Report structure.
Okay.
Yes, with headings, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Me too, I think the same.
Just
So that would be a good thing to identify first of all, I think, because that will help us break up the work. Do you know what I mean? If we can establish what needs to go in.
Yeah.
Well, then you can read what I done. The thing is that I wasn't sure. Like I put all the theories and OB, human resource and OB together.
Yeah.
Maybe then we can discuss which is like a human resource theory and OB.
Yeah.
And then yes, I separate like the last question, which is the demographic differences.
Yeah.
Yes, I put it very clear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the most difficult part is to like try to separate the OB theories from the other ones. That's maybe quite trickier.
How do you guys feel about OB? You're a bit worried about it before.
I'm not too.
I'm quite
too
familiar.
phased,
Like,
Yeah.
maybe OB you can see one of the things I talked about is like the structure of the organization,
Yeah.
if it's like lineal, or if you have different departments, or
Mhm.
if that's things, no?
Have you both? I mean, what's your past history with management? Are there any like past courses that maybe you've done that would?
I did a business studies A level, so I know a bit about
Mhm.
like.
That's
OB,
good. Well, that's
so,
that's
like,
very useful.
Structures and stuff, the organisational structure. That's what I think goes into OB that I know of.
Well, yeah, that's
right.
brilliant. And
I study
yourself?
business, so
So-
yeah, I'm familiar
Yeah.
with it.
A little familiar.
Kind of.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, well, as I say, I'm doing organisational behaviour at the moment.
Oh, right.
And I mean,
What
one
do
thing
you
actually
think?
that I've done with this is I've, just like, for example, this is human resources. I've printed out all the topics that she's covering each week.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
so
cool.
that kind of to
Which
focus
is
you.
maybe-
Uh-huh.
So and I could do the same with the OB.
Yeah.
And so, for example, you got leadership. Initially, I wouldn't really think of leadership as something that would, be an answer to the human resources one. But then when you think about what we were looking at,
Yeah.
actually it does. So maybe this can
Yeah.
point us,
Uh-huh.
because at the moment I'm a bit lost. So let's get some things to point us in the right
Yes,
direction.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I thought the same, because, for example, when I had a kind of OB subject in my country, and we saw a lot of things that we are going to see it also in human resources, like leadership, also motivation, how to get your employees satisfied. So I don't know very well like how to define or what criteria
Yeah.
we should have. That's the thing.
Well-
They are like related, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
I don't know very well how to.
Mm.
If we look through our topics, would it be
Yeah.
possible to distinguish which is OB and which is HR? Because I'm not too sure what falls into what.
I think most of this is, it is an
It's
HR
all-
course.
yeah,
It's mostly
yeah.
HR,
Yeah.
but I could print off probably. I could find something, a course schedule for my OB one,
Yeah.
and I've got the book that runs alongside that,
Right.
and we could dip into that as
Yeah,
well if you want.
Yeah.
How about for the moment? Should we go over and, you've got some ideas, and we can all just contribute and see if we can make a bit of a list attacking each one of these points.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
That sounds like
Right.
a great way to start. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's something we can do easily. Both sides of the Atlantic, isn't it? Like the Americans can do that.
Exactly.
As well.
Uh-huh.
And they hopefully can feed off this conversation and it will spark ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So should we
Okay.
set that as an agenda, something we have to do,
Yeah,
and we can put it up on the wiki. So what will we say?
And then should we just,
Should we discuss our ideas?
Let's just-
relevant.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's just let's start with relevant theories now and crack on with it.
Yes, or maybe like which solution? Did you like think in any solution or something, or like yes, maybe the solution is to get but what I thought it's like to get the employees motivated so they don't think very much or don't care very much about the salary.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. But then to introduce like that's going down the route of pay cuts as well, isn't it? So like it's going to be tricky.
So you think, okay, so yeah,
I was just
should
going to write
we
down.
still write down, or do you want to write down, or?
Go ahead, Rory, go for it. I was just going to write down to make sure to put that on the wiki.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
No. Don't
Okay.
apologise.
So what were you saying? You were talking about as an idea for issues, relevant issues, whereas motivating people.
Relevant, yes. When you say relevant issues, I put like I took just some like relevant things of the text of the case to help me think in a solution.
Yeah.
But I don't know if relevant issue we have to think it very much or analyze it very much, or just put like the facts that we want to work in it. What do you think?
So I think we need to be too strict about.
Relevant issues.
Yeah.
Like-
But just for the moment, just what you're thinking, what's relevant, like put anything you think of.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want to talk about what we were just talking about the reduction in pay possibly?
I'm sorry?
You were talking about reduction in pay earlier. Is that what you wanted to jot down? About a relevant point?
So how can he retain his skilled workers? Well,
Yeah.
motivating them, so therefore he can reduce their pay,
Yeah.
and their payment is in their job satisfaction in a way,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's motivated them,
Yes.
and therefore he'll hopefully be able to
Yeah,
keep
he'll
them
be able
at
to retain.
a lower
Yeah.
cost.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's like the main idea. Yes, okay, we agree
Okay.
with that.
That's good. I like
Yes,
that. Brilliant. Excellent.
that's good.
But then obviously tied into that, there's massive
Mhm.
issues with
Yes, so
reducing
yes,
costs.
like
So
I
you're
thought.
going to lose some, aren't you? Sorry. You're going to lose.
Sorry.
You're going to lose some, which may be benefit. You may have to lose some anyway.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So maybe there's a, and with that, does that come redundancy pay? Is that going to be an issue for him
Well,
if he has to lay people off on contracts?
possibly, yeah. I'm not too sure.
I think it probably will. And then
Because if
further, looking down to the last part of this,
yeah,
do you have difference in redundancy laws between the US and UK? I bet you definitely
yeah,
do.
you're almost there.
Yeah.
I know, for example, in France it's almost impossible, and actually I think Italy as well, pretty much impossible to get rid of anyone.
Really,
Yeah,
To
pretty
what?
much.
I'm sorry.
To make anyone redundant. It's almost impossible, because France, for example, is very socialist. So they've got this huge, great big law, and
Yeah.
basically it's almost
It's a
impossible.
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So, but anyway, okay, so
If you want to make a note, that's
Yeah,
don't
sure.
forget it later on.
yeah, exactly. So redundancy costs. I mean, obviously, maybe there's a way around that.
Yeah.
So maybe we can propose something. How do we avoid that for him? Because obviously he doesn't, you know.
Well, if we're going down the route of reducing salaries, we've got to look into like what is legal and what isn't. And if you're going to say, if it comes to a case where you have to take a pay cut, I'm not sure if you can force that on people and say you may have to make redundancies. If you know what I mean, you can't say you have to take a pay cut. If you know what I mean.
What do you mean by that? Because surely he can say to them, "I'm giving you a low wage," or are you saying if they're on a contract?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like they can
Yeah.
either sign a new contract or they
Yeah, you'd have to terminate their contract
exactly,
and give them a new one.
Exactly.
Mm.
And so I think there may not be a way around redundancies.
True.
Yeah, I didn't think in the legal thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very
sure,
important.
This is
Yes.
the point of these, just to brainstorm
Yes.
all
Yeah.
branches.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
good. Yes, it's true.
Okay.
Logically true.
What else?
And
Is
then,
Wait.
so
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, like, well, okay, we agree that he needs to motivate his employees, but maybe we can think about different kinds of motivation strategies,
Yeah.
which don't require a lot of like not very expensive
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Like informal regarding, just I
Yeah.
thought some, so yes, that's important. To thinking like one specific or effectively, but not effective one, but not very expensive because of
Yeah.
course he can afford it.
Yeah. Agreed.
And, like, think about some.
Yeah, that's
some
brilliant.
good ones, specific ones.